Some criminals are geniuses, some are not. And then, there's Kevin and Jimmy. Our story begins with these two brain-dead masterminds planning the perfect heist. Kevin then said, "All right, Jimmy, we go in, take the money and leave. No mistakes." Jimmy then nodded like he actually understood something before saying, "Yeah, but we gotta be stealthy, like ninjas." Stealthy? These two? Please. They then spent 2 whole hours deciding on the perfect disguises. Kevin then proudly put on his disguise and said, "Perfect! No one will recognize us!" Jimmy then stared at him for 5 full seconds before saying, "Bro, you look just like you." Fun fact, they wore their own work uniforms, with their names on them, genius level -100, and so, Operation Genius Mode began. Kevin then confidently walked up to the bank teller and slid a note across the counter, and so Operation Genius Mode began. Kevin then confidently walked up to the bank teller and slid a note across the counter. "Give me all your money or else." The teller then squinted and said, Why is this written on a pizza receipt?" Kevin then looked at Jimmy in pure panic before whispering, "Oh shoot, Jimmy, give me another paper." Jimmy then checked his pockets and pulled out a library card. Kevin then, in the boldest act of stupidity ever recorded, said, "Perfect, write it on the back. Yes, this man really just tried to rob a bank with a library card. A card that has his full name. Now a smart criminal would have a getaway plan." Kevin and Jimmy did not. They sprinted outside, panicking. Jimmy then looked around and screamed, "Kevin, where's the car?" Kevin then frantically looked left and right before saying, I forgot where we parked." They did not forget. They parked right in front of the bank. The cop then, while casually chewing his donut, said, "You boys need help?" No, we're just..." Jimmy then, proving he might actually be dumber than Kevin, blurted out, We're pizza delivery guys." The cop then, now extremely amused, raised an eyebrow and said, "Oh, so where's the pizza?" Kevin then blinked in silence. Jimmy then blinked in silence. The cop then shook his head like he'd seen it all. And that's how Kevin and Jimmy's great criminal career ended, in the back of a cop car. Kevin then sighed dramatically and said, "Well, at least we didn't mess up too bad." The cop then slowly turned around and said, "You left your library card at the bank, with your name." Jimmy then, still clinging to some hope, said, "Wait, we get pizza in jail, right?" The cop then sighed, shook his head and said, "No," and that's how Kevin and Jimmy went down in history as the dumbest criminals of all time.